has spoken about the secret midfielder, but I want to talk about this first because this is a player that I actually think would be perfect for Manchester United, and it's quite a significant update that Mateta of Crystal Palace has indeed handed in a transfer request. So Ben Jacobs says Mateta has told Crystal Palace he wants to leave this January transfer window. He's got no plans as it stands to sign a new deal, which has got 18 months left on it. Mateta wanted to move to Juventus, but the Serie A side offered a loan with conditional obligation, which was unacceptable to Crystal Palace. Aston Villa are now showing interest alongside their pursuit of Tammy Abraham. Understand Crystal Palace value Mateta at around £40 million. Now, Mateta is 28. He's got 18 months left on his contract, £40 million. I think this is, call me crazy, but I think this is exactly the sort of deal that Manchester United should be looking to do. We're not Arsenal, we're not Liverpool, and we're not Man City. We're not that club. Every signing we make doesn't have to be a star. Like, it can be a little bit nuanced. And I think with Mateta, you get a 28-year-old who is ridiculously physical, very fast, and also a proven Premier League goal scorer in a team where you don't get as many chances as you would for an Arsenal or a Man United for that. Also, he's the perfect age profile for a counterbalance to Sesko. And he's also quite similar to Sesko in relation to, if you take Sesko off and you bring on Jonathan David, there's a very big difference in size and how they play. If you take Sesko off and you bring Mateta on, you bring on a player that's quite similar. And I think that's very important. So I actually think this is the sort of deal that Man United should be looking at. And it pains me when I see Aston Villa going for a player like this, considering they're in third. And I've said this for a while. I want to climb the ladder at Manchester United. I want to climb the ladder to the top of the Premier League. But you can't cheat. It's not a game of snakes and ladders. Like, you can't just cheat. You can't go from 15th to 1st. You've got to go from 15th to 5th. And then stabilise, and then try and push for 3rd and 2nd. And we've never mastered, in the last 13 years, the ability of staying in the Champions League for a couple of years. I think we've done it maybe once, maybe twice. How many years have we finished in the top 5, 2 years in a row? Sorry, top 4, 2 years in a row. Not many. To do that, you've got to build a team for the 4th place. And then you build a team for 1st place. We've never done that. And maybe somebody like Mateta would come in, competition for Sesko, bring Sesko on, take one off, bring one on, one gets injured, you play that one. Regular flow of goals from the striking position gets us into the top 4 regularly, and then in a couple of years you then go and get your top class striker, you know? And I think we just don't do that enough. We don't do it enough. And also, when have we had a backup striker? I mean, the last time we had a backup striker must have been when we had Cavani and Martial was never that reliable. Because when Rasmus came in, Martial was never fit. And then Rasmus has left 2 years later, and Sesko's come in, and he's not got... So it's easily 3 seasons since we've had 2 strikers. And we need 2. We definitely do. However, there is absolutely no link at this time for Man United moving from Mateta. And I don't think there will be, because he's over 26. And I think that's a mistake. I mentioned this on the show this morning. I think that's a mistake. I think it's like our transfer policy is killing us because we're so tunnel visioned. And the trouble with having an age restriction is that it contradicts your other parameters. So if you want a Premier League proven player, Mateta's a Premier League proven player. Yeah, but he's over 26. So you actually want a Premier League proven player who's 25 or under to play up front for Man United as a striker who's experienced. You're going to struggle for that.